Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this morning. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. Okay. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you all so much for your support. Okay. This morning, I wanted to talk about BG and how BG has gotten out. And hey, a lot of people felt like when BG got out, that was like, well, that's been 11, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, whatever. And this new generation does not know much about BG. His time came and went, and he's gonna get out, and people have moved on, right? But as soon as BG got out, people was talking about his appearance, and you have to understand when BG went into jail, um, he had a lot of, I think he had gold grills, okay? And I'm sure as time went on, 12, 14 years, however long he was in there, you have to take care of those goals. If not, I don't know why people get goals, because they rot your teeth out, right? Rot your teeth out, make your breath stink. And so with him being in there so long, I'm sure he had to get them removed because he was having issues. He wasn't able to get them taken care of, not in locked up. You know what I mean? And so when he got out, I'm sure he looked a certain way. There were a lot of things that he was not that was not accessible to him in jail. Now, he was ripped to the gods. Okay. One thing we do know that he did was he was working out. The brother got body. Okay. And so, there was a lot of stuff going around on the internet about him. But from my understanding, because BG was around my time, BG was always really quiet. People that knew him said that he was always, he did his street stuff, but he was quiet. He was a real kind-hearted person in real life. Um, and that's just how he was, right? He still got it. He had a group, I forget, called the something boys. I forget what they were called, but they still got a David Banner beat that I rock to this day on the treadmill called Make 'em Mad. He had VL Mike Guard, his brother, another one. Rest in peace to VL Mike. VL Mike was hard, okay? He still got a song that I like, Welcome to New Orleans or something like that. VL Mike was real hard. But BG, he got out, he did a song with Boosie, and I gotta say, this last album Boosie got out, it's hard as I don't know what. Boosie was always one of my favorite rappers. We kind of started side eyeing Boosie when a lot of stuff started coming out about what he had done. Okay, but I guess it does not take away his talent. You know what I mean? I believe Boosie is dealing with those demons or whatever he had going on, but it does not take away his talent, because him and BG got out a song called "My Dog." It is hard. It's I don't know what, and so BG has been really quiet, and he just been letting his music speak for him, right? He's putting out videos, he's consistently going up. And what I like is he's intertwining with some of the newer rappers that probably knew him when they were little boys. And he's kind of incorporating some of that old style of rap beat, I guess, with a new style that our generation can recognize with. It's gonna make him a real big star because it's got everybody bumping and stuff. It's not that drill type situation. You know what I'm talking about? So I love it because I think this drill music is what's got everybody off of their rockers now. And to see him coming back and kind of incorporating a newer style with the older style, still while keeping his style that he always had. He's not really compromising and trying to be something that he's not. He's just letting the talent speak for him. I love every moment of it. You know what I mean? Because I think it's time for the drill music to go ahead and go out of style. Okay, because too many people are losing their lives. You can't have drill music in a time like this where young people are not being raised right. They don't have anybody that's teaching them any guidance. or anything like that. You know what I mean? And they feel like what they see on auto theft. What's the name of that video game? Auto theft, and what they see on here on the radio, or what these rappers are rapping. You know, they feel like this is what you're supposed to do. They don't have any conviction or anything like that. So I like what BG doing. His music is tough. Okay, his music, he's, I mean, constantly going up. Hey, I support him 100%. He went and got him some new toothpieces. Okay, he ain't got those gold teeth in his mouth anymore. Thank God. I'm glad he didn't go back and get them damn golds. He went on and upgraded and got him some pearly whites. All right. And so his face and stuff is not sunken in. And I would assume at this point that because he'd been in jail, I know they can get drugs in jail, but the type of drugs that BG was on, I don't think that he is on right now. He's detoxed. Hopefully he won't go and get back on this stuff and keep going up, because people are looking to him. You know what I mean? Especially maybe my generation, which will be his generation, because he's 43. Maybe, you know, with this new stuff that he's doing, he don't get caught up in that drill stuff, because it's got to go. If our race is going to survive, drill music has to die out. Okay, it's got to be bleak, period. Okay, because it's just too many people that don't know the difference in between music and reality. So it's got to go if I race of our people are going to survive, because they don't have a whole lot of people guiding them right. But hey, BG is he has reintroduced himself, going up. His music is tight. I mean, it's even something I can listen to. I love that song that him and Boosie got, Lil Boosie, my dog. I love that song. He just put out a video yesterday. Okay, bopping your dreads. I like that. I wish I could pull it up, but you know how they is when you pulling up music. Okay, I just like it. Like, I mean, it's just bringing back, helping to, even though it's got a updated beat, it's still bringing back, reminds you of our era. And the good thing about it is, I think the younger generation is enjoying it, right? So hey, I'm glad that he is reintroducing himself. I ain't never known nobody to get no 14 years for carrying a gun. They don't give folks 14 years for unaliving people. Let's be real about it. Okay, they don't even like to do that, but I'm glad that he's out. Maybe he'll stay out, stay detoxed, keep going up, because he is going up. People need to support him. He letting his music. He didn't say anything when people was dogging him out. He just, you know, whatever frustration he had, he's been putting it into his music. But he's 43. He's more mature, right? And he letting his music speak for him, and that is what he is supposed to do. I'm gonna see if I can find a video of BG. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find a video of him. That, okay, these rappers, what they, okay, let's see, rapper BG. We be wanting to show their stuff, but I understand like people will hold on for a second. Let's see, rapper BG. I think this is him right here. Chopper City Music. That, and you know what? That was the name of his I think that was the name of his rap group, Chopper City Boys. Yep. Make 'em mad, my nigga, make 'em mad. Oh, I love that song. Um Here it is right here. I don't know, look like he might have some goals up there. They said, way to come back, kid. Subscribe. I'm telling you, that boy on his comeback for real. Here it is right here, BG. The name of it, because I loved this album, Heart of the Streets. It says, y'all know a real nigga still in the halfway house, but while I was on record in the studio cooking up Heart of the Streets 2.5. Ooh, and Heart of the Streets 3. Ooh, that boy doing that. Because the Heart of the Streets was one of his best. And he doing a 2.5 and a 3. He get ready to have everything on lock. He said, I got the urge to jump on a few records I like and let y'all see me in the process. I'm working in silence, but I'm going to show up loud. That's how you do it all day, every day. I love that mentality. Woo! After all these years, I'm grateful and humbled by the love and support. The hate been real, but the love been real. A real nigga music coming soon. Ooh, y'all, I love it.
The show that's 100K, that's what I'm charging for. I am. The old price ain't the new price. You can't bargain for it. Part of the streets.
Oh, that boy hard. That's it. That's that type of. Ooh, I don't know. It's not. If you listen to his beats, those were some of the types of beats that he had before. It's like one of them grooving beats and not one of them demon time beats. You see what I'm talking about? So I love it. Let's look at some more of what he got going on. He said, I told y'all I was cooking up something special, my nigga. Let's see who he got in there with him. That boy just been grinding. I don't know who he is. I'm sure a lot of New Orleans guys. Look at how his body cut up, okay? He look I bet he got a more endurance than a lot of these young boys. And I ain't talking about sexual. I'm talking about if he was get out there and run or something. That man been working out. I just pray that, you know, he don't go back to what he was doing before, right? Let God keep him detoxed. When I go forward, follow me. If I hesitate, push me. If I'm unalived, which means KILLED, avenge me. If I break the code, unalive me. Death before dishonor. Heart of the streets coming soon.
Ones used to come around and leech on me. I'm walking light now, still got police on me.
Oh, that boy hard. I promise you he hard. He said, help me wish my mama a happy birthday. I like his mama hair. She gonna make me go back to my short haircuts. And I used to wear my hair in them short Anita Baker styles. Girl. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking like I'm talking to some of my girls, but I'm telling y'all, that is hard. I'm very, very proud of BG. I am. He was during my era. He was the one that people talking about bling bling. That came from BG. He coined that bling bling. Everyone, every time I go around my city, bling bling. A lot of these phrases and stuff, you know, a lot of them coin those phrases. You know, I always say, because I'm loyal. When people ask me, you know, who are some of your favorite rappers, I have to go ahead and I do it with a lot of pride. Of course, I always have to say, you know, anything from out of Memphis or around the Tennessee area, because you know I have to be loyal. But I slick always liked New Orleans because very big fans of the New Orleans rappers because I always like that bounce music. Could be, y'all know, I was in school, I was a majorette, so you know, we always had those drum. We had to bounce to the beat of drums and stuff, and so I've always liked that bounce music. They always got a little bit of that band music in their stuff. I like that, and then New Orleans rappers are hard too. You know, I really appreciate what. If you want to be honest, Master P, I've always been a really big fan of, as far as being a businessman and things of that nature. But I've always appreciated what Master P and what Baby did. You know what I mean? Whatever went on with their artists, you know, hey, it's unfortunate, you know, but I'm sure, you know, they work together, they fall out, they work together, they fall out. That's the reason why people are not to get into stuff like that, because them folks grew up around each other, you know. But yeah, hey, I appreciate them. If you ask me, I believe, and some people might think differently, it appears to me that they really put the South on in a big way. And I know Jay Prince is down there in Houston or whatever, but what I remember is you know, Master P and Baby. And I know Master P said Jay Prince was his big dog. So I'm sure, because I think Rap a Lot was around before, because Luke Skywalker and all of them, they, the Ghetto Boys and stuff, they were out first. Okay. But I think as far as my generation, okay, Master P and Baby and them put the South on in my eyes in a real, real big way, right? But anyway, shout out to BG. I'm glad to see the brother doing his thing. I'd be glad to see, you know, young men do their thing. Okay. And then I be slick. I love the way, you know, the New Orleans talk, it's a lot of injustice that goes on down there in New Orleans. And when all of this stuff was happening, like I know the backstory as it relates to what happened to Mac. I became very good friends with his family. When I was doing shows and stuff on them, I'd go down there and spend time with them. They've been up to Memphis, and because C Murder and them are so close to Mac's family and stuff, I was able to become very acquainted with a lot of what's going on with C Murder and a lot of his how his family and stuff feel. I've had the opportunity to speak to C Murder. Very charming, very laid back, highly intelligent guy. A lot of people don't know his backstory. He went to the service. He was very smart. um just a real cool cat, and so when I was the same thing that happened to Mac, he got caught up, happened to see murder. And I think it's unfortunate because, like I said, people don't really know the backstory. Rest in peace to Steve, the young man that was 16 years old that lost his life. But see, murder did not do that. And I think two of the reasons that see murder is in jail for that is because see murder did not tell on who did it, number one, and number two, that Sheriff Harry Lee, who was very, very corrupt, was determined to get C Murder. One of the backstories on what Mac's family told me when Mac was going through this, Mac was down there in one of those, I don't know if it was Jefferson Parish, it was one of those parishes, and they was trying to extort Master P. And so I remember, if you go back and look at my video that I did with Mac when he was in jail, he was saying that they wanted to question him. He was like, I got up out of my bed, I was laying in bed, I just had a show, I was like, cool, I was at home, I wasn't worried about it. He said, I didn't know that they was coming to set me up. So he went down there and to be questioned, because he already knew he wasn't the one. He was up on stage performing, right? And so he said when the police came to get him, and they was like, one of them said, is this Master P? And one of the investigators said, no, this is one of his rappers. And the other investigator said, that's good enough. And they set that boy up and charged him when they know that he did not do it. It was so much when people came forward to say that Mac didn't do it, because his security guard actually did it, and it was self-defense, right? And the security guard, we got a video of the security guard coming forward saying he was the one did it. He did it because he feared for his life and all of that. And they actually threatened the security guard, right? They threatened anybody that came forward to say that McKinley, which is Mac's real name, did not do this. And another young lady who knew that Mac didn't do it, her son was a teenager, had been in and out of trouble. They went and arrested her son and held him until she said that Mac did it. Like, a lot of people didn't know that. They took 21 years of his life. And this was all because they was wanting really to extort Master P. Because the backstory is there's the sheriff of that county, because Mac was in another county, in another parish. They call them parishes. And the sheriff, the DA, who was later about 6-7 years ago, was indicted and is in jail. They had to let a lot of people out because of corruption. And the one of the bail bonds companies down there, they all were extorting people. And from my understanding, they tried to extort Master P for 200 and something thousand dollars for McKinley, and Master P was gonna pay it, I'm told, and then he decided not to, because it never would have stopped, right? And so right after they did that to Mac, I guess they felt like Master P was not gonna they couldn't extort him from Mac. Then this happened with C Murder. Now this leads me to the story of what happened with C Murder when there was this in Jefferson Parish, there was this sheriff named Sheriff Harry Lee. And I was pulling up all of the complaints and stuff that they had on him. He was very, very corrupt. He was working with a lot of the judges. And from my understanding, he could not stand C Murder. Okay. And he had told C Murder, I'm going to get you one way or the other. And so when this happened, he finally had the opportunity to get him. Okay. When they show C Murder popping a gun in the they kind of tricked the jury too. They were showing C Murder, shooting at someone at a club. That was not when the young man was hit. That was a completely different incident, and I think he was shooting at a bouncer or something like that. That was a completely different club, different day, different time, right? And so they was really able to trick people, right? And so they actually did the exact same thing to the witnesses that did this. That knew the truth. Um, that they did to Mac, right? And so that's why you later had witnesses coming forward. Sheriff Harry Lee dead. Okay, he dead and gone on somewhere. Okay, and but I wanted to show you that same parish because Sheriff Harry Lee was not um elected, right? And this was back in the early 2000s. How he was ended up being appointed by the governor or something because he was eating good with the governor and another family that was in a hierarchy that was prevalent in that parish. And they actually had another sheriff because there was so much corruption going on in Jefferson Parish, and he had to resign. And so they ended up appointing Sheriff Harry Lee, and at the time. But I want to show y'all also they had in 2001, and this goes back to what Mac's family was telling me about these bail bond companies, right? And down there in Louisiana, it says troopers claim that Sheriff Harry Lee squashed 2001 bail bonds investigation. The DA says it was untrue. Well, the DA was working with them, right? They had a trooper to come forward that knew about the investigation. It's showing the judge right here accepts cash from lawyer of a bail bonding company, right? And so they was consistently letting certain people out, like what they tried to do to McKinley. This right here proves that Mac's mother is telling the truth. Okay, they tried to extort Master P. It was the bail bonding company. It was he was related to the sheriff and the DA. They were all related in that parish, right? Like I said, about 5 years ago, the DA in that parish, I can't think of that parish that Mac went to jail in, he was indicted. And a lot of these men, they had to go back that had been convicted up under his leadership of being in the DA's office. They had to go, they had to let some of those men out, and they still need to go relook at a lot of those cases, right? Because if they were not able to extort them, they ain't have no money. They was just up shit creek, right? But here is, let's look at this.
Started early, I guess. Yeah. 800. All right. All right.
Okay, that's a white judge right there in Louisiana.
What you up to?
To live on my promise.
Oh, man.
Put that away somewhere.
Appreciate it.
Okay, now I guess that's a black judge and a white bail bondsman company. Okay, and this was Sheriff Harry Lee, the one who helped to set C Murder up. He could not stand C Murder. He dead and gone now. Okay, he couldn't stand him, right? And he was put into place because the sheriff that was before him got caught up in some corruption, and then he ended up getting appointed. Okay, it says, all right, let me read this. It says, well into the investigation, but they says that when they started investigating these judges and the bail bond company, this sheriff right here, this sheriff, and he had to have been working with the DA, squashed it. Okay. It says into Operation Wrinkled Robe. That was the name of the FBI's investigation. The FBI's 9-year inquiry into Jefferson Parish courthouse corruption. A state trooper officer gave the bureau an intrigue lead. A parallel investigation by the district attorney's office had been squashed, the trooper said, by Sheriff Harry Lee. This is the sheriff right here that set C Murder up. Okay. The claims seem plausible and at least circumstantially. Bail Bonds Unlimited, the target of the federal investigation, was a regular campaign contributor to Jefferson's colorful sheriff. After he was appointed, then he ran for office, and that bail bond was who funded his campaign, which is what I've been telling y'all about what's going on down there in Houston, Texas with the princes, okay? The claim seemed plausible, at least circumstantially. Bail bonds unlimited, the target of the federal investigation, was a regular campaign contributor to Jefferson's colorful sheriff, and Lee himself had defended his office bail bonding practices as a money maker for his agency. But the tip wasn't true, District Attorney Paul Koenig says last week. That didn't happen. Okay, so it seems to me that the district attorney was trying to take up for the sheriff. Okay, it says a description of the tip is contained in hundreds of pages of public records recently released by the FBI in response to a 2007 request. The Time Piscine, a heavily redacted FBI memo, says the trooper told an agent about a December 17, 2001 meeting with the representative of the district attorney's office and the state insurance department, which has some regulatory authority over bail bonding. So the prosecutor's office, the district attorney, was working with him. The reason why he said it just did not happen. The trooper said that while investigating bail bonds unlimited, district attorney's office personnel was reviewing records in the clerk of course office when they received a personal call from Lee. According to the memo, Sheriff Lee instructed the investigators to discontinue the investigation. They halted their work, but later called the state police and insurance department to take over the investigation because Lee would have no authority over those agencies, according to the memo's summary of the troopers' tips. Wrinkled Robe ultimately won the federal government conviction of 14 people, including Judge Ronald Bodenheimer and Alan Green. Bail bonds unlimited owner Louis Marcotte III and 5 sheriff's deputies. Lee, who died in 2007, was not charged, and he was the ringleader. This is the very man he done croaked over that helped to set C Murder up, right? They hid evidence. They a lot of those witnesses, they intimidated them. These are some of the witnesses that they intimidated, y'all. See, Murder, I've always told y'all, when a person is wrong, I don't stand with them, okay? See, Murder did not do this, okay? He didn't do it. This is C Murder right here.
Corey Miller, known to many of you as C Murder, has spent more than a decade in prison, and up until a few days ago, he wasn't sure if he'd ever get out.
I've been snatched away from my family, from race, from gaming, and from my career, from everything. And I just want it back.
A key witness came forward recanting his statement. In an affidavit, Kenneth Jordan said Jefferson Parish deputies pressured him to lie by holding an unrelated charge over his head. Jordan said he knew Miller did not shoot and kill a teenager 16 years ago, but he said detectives told him to say otherwise. Now, all these years later, Jordan says he wants to right his wrong, and Miller forgives him.
I want him to know I'm not upset with him, and I'm proud of him. And me and my family, my daughters, especially, for real. I mean, it's a life-changing moment.
He says for the first time in a while, he has hope that he may not die in prison. And he's glad his family, friends, and fans continue to fight for his justice.
All I had to smile. Since I've been locked up for 16 years. And I just want them to know that my heart is smiling.
Okay, so that was in 2018. So he's been locked up a lot longer. Free C Murder for real. Rest in peace to Steve, the young man. If I'm not mistaken, the person who did it that was in C Murder's camp has come forward and said he did it, and they will not accept his statement. He finally came forward and told the truth a long time ago that he did it, to go ahead and free C Murder because he did not do this. And they said because he's in jail on another crime, you know, they and if I'm not mistaken, the witness corroborated that it was him, and they will not accept it because of their corruption. So free C Murder all day, every day, and rest in peace to Mr. Steve. He was only 16 years old. My heart goes out to his family, and made his family get retribution from Jefferson Parish, okay? Let them sue Jefferson Parish and get retribution for blocking justice for their 16-year-old brother, son, all of that, okay? But free C Murder, that's an innocent man. He needs to be out. It's better to let 10 guilty men go free than to lock up one innocent one. I stand on that all day, every day, okay? But anyways, you guys, I wanted to talk about that. I'll be talking more about that, but I kind of wanted to touch on that, okay? We can't stand behind what's wrong, okay? And what they do is they play with our emotions and stuff in the media. When they were showing C Murder, he say he was wilding out. So what? He had an apartment in the projects. If he did not take out that young man, he should not be in jail for that. People need to stop allowing their thoughts, that has nothing to do with anything, to block what's right. If we all come together and demand some justice, okay, get out, overthrow anybody down there in New Orleans, the government or whatever, or some of these politicians start losing their place in office, then it'll be somebody to come up in there to pardon him. We can't have a guilty man in jail for something he did not do. See, Murder has already served his time while he was in jail, okay, for when he shot at the club, the bouncer, okay? And that was a completely separate incident from what happened, separate day, separate time to see. But this is how the media play with you when they want people to convict you. There was a judge named Martha Sassoon that let C Murder out when he was out during that time, okay, because of the corruption. She saw what they was doing. What they did was they turned around and reversed what she said, and then they did not elect her anymore. She did not get her position back as a judge. This is what they do when they want to silence you and they want to continue their corruption. And black people ought to stick together, okay? We are our worst enemies because they get together, they throw her out, a white woman who saw the corruption, know the corruption, and overturned it, okay? Then they turn around, got the appellate court to overturn what she did, and then made sure that she was not elected anymore, so she could not have a voice, okay? Injustice anywhere is injustice for all of us everywhere, okay? So free C Murder. I'm gonna talk more about this, okay? Because we gotta start talking about this in the damn media. And I can see some fuck nigga going and trying to pollute what I say, but it don't matter, okay? Okay, it don't matter, okay? And I want justice for the young man. Okay, I want justice for the young man, Stephen, that was taken out. He was a child and he didn't get a chance to live his life. But I think his family need to bring a lawsuit against Jefferson Parish because what they've done is played with their emotions and blocked justice for him. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna make this short, but I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.